Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So with that, let's get you up to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. Standing by for the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks. As mentioned, we are on the North Shore of Pittsburgh. It's sold out Heinz Field in the Steel City. They love the black and gold here in the Steel City, and a few moments ago, their Steelers emerged from the Heinz Field tunnel. They're set, we're set, as the Steelers are ready to do battle with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Happy to be on hand. I'm Brandon Godden with Charles Davis. And before we kick, partner, your keys to the game, please.
Well, my keys are on the defensive side of the ball for both teams. And the big one, making sure you avoid giving up the big play. These safeties are going to get tested all game long. Their job, keep the ball in front of them, tackle people, make them run extra plays in order to try and score.
From Heinz Field as Chris Boswell tees it up and boots it away. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led onto the field by the former third-round pick back in 2012, and that's the quarterback, Nick Foles.
Love his build, love his arm. Had a Pro Bowl season with the Philadelphia Eagles, looking to scale those heights once again.
A pass there complete to Westbrook, and he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. An early statement on the game's first play, 18 yards and a first down. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette, and that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Now a run. This is Alfred Blue. And again, the run defense stout this time. He maybe gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Now Foles. Man open is Keelan Cole, complete. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They're led onto the field by a man who needs no introduction, Ben Roethlisberger.
An absolute prototype for what you draw up as a big, strong quarterback that has to stay in the pocket and make big throws with people all around him and even hanging on him, and still has that type of strength to get the ball downfield. Ben Roethlisberger, an absolute rock in the pocket, but he also can escape and make big plays that way as well.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Roethlisberger, and he connects with Vance McDonald. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The catch and run, good for 18 and a first down. So in Jacksonville territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size and these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense, because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later. Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And that closed up quickly there as he gets it up only to about the 17. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9. Switch up. 17-yard line.
On 2nd and 9, Foles. And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 11 yards there, 1st down. We're scoreless after 1. The Jags with the football to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 1st and 10. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. They go draw here. Blue trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. Here's Foles. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the 1st down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Switzer on the return. Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. There he goes, right side. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Boy, he covered a lot of ground. 82 yards on the punt return. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. So that is how we get our first points here in quarter number 2 on the punt return.
Both teams were seeking the momentum that comes from the first score of the game. But when it comes on a special teams play, a punt return, I think that's extra momentum. And now I wonder if they just roll it forward and maybe don't just kick the extra point, but possibly go for 2.
Extra point put through by Boswell. And it's now a 7-0 game. Well, it's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit.
Now a hit, and Foles loses the football. It's out. And he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. So the defense forces the fumble. They get the score. And a guy on defense becoming offensive there, Charles.
And you know they love that. Any guy on defense loves to pick up the ball and have it in his hands and try and score himself. In this case, that's exactly what happened.
He'll be singing in the shower post-game. Boswell for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way, the fumble return for a touchdown. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Throwing on second and 14. Foles. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Alfred Blue, the man he was looking for. And it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Hayward coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up fourth.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
It's been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. You know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's second and 2. Ben leaves to counter on the draw. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. So we come upon half. No, I'm not mad at you for skipping halftime, but can I just have a sip of water real quick? Please, thank you. All right, let's go. This one taken from the 7. Fighting through, and he's got space. And there he goes again. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A 93-yard kickoff return. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever, this was a big score to start the second half.
Boswell good with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. Still one of the most exciting plays in football. The kick return shows why there. 93 yards on that return for 6. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This will be taken about the 12. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Here we go.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. Keelan Cole, the intended target, and it's third and short. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Foles. And finding Keelan Cole. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Instead of a 3rd-and-1 run, they go pass, and they get 12 yards out of it. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. On the draw, here's Blue. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now Foles off the play fake to Fournette. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll drop to throw. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Steven Nelson. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster, 70 yards. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
I think if you pulled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control, and how about the end result? A touchdown.
Extra point now by Boswell. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2.
Chris Boswell set to kick off.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. On 3rd down, they run with Blue. And he'll only get this to about the 35. Well short of the line to gain. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Here's Switzer. Refusing to go down. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Fights free yet again, and still fighting. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. James Conner, 62 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Boswell for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken about the 12. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now Leonard Fournette. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll make it 3rd and 13. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Here's Logan Cook now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. This is taken at the 15. Fights off another.
I think the second tackler would have learned from the first.
And he's loose again. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Mark that down as an 85-yard punt return as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Boswell on now to kick this one away. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. Throwing again on second down. Foles. D.D. Westbrook is intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. They'll try to run for it with Blue. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave him with a 4th down.
And, partner, when you run the ball on 3rd and 2, you're telling the whole world you got nothing but confidence in your offensive line and your runner, and you expect to get it. But they were stuffed on that play. Only got 1 yard. Great job by the defensive front, the linebackers. Everyone got involved to force a 4th down.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They start with a give to Connor. Shrugs off another, sheds another. It's a foot race. The 40, the 20, 10, and he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. James Conner, an 80-yard touchdown as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
The kickoff for Pittsburgh.
Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
To throw again on second down. Foles. He'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Now back to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Come on, baby. Let's go.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And opening there on that first down run as he gets this forward for about 8 or 9. That looks to be 8 officially, so 2nd and 2. Again, a run with Connor. Oh, now he bowls him over. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 12-yard line. Let's get it.
On 2nd down, it's Connor. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was that they held the ball pretty well. Time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that,